Indeed, we've been tracking this story. What we know now for a fact is that the public protector received a 28-page document on last Friday from the security cluster, and she says following that it has been unprecedented and unexpected because she has never had to face anything like that. So she addressed a packed media room, but now to get a response immediately to what the public protector was chatting to us about. In fact, before we do that, I see that the public protector has just joined us. If you were to allow us to just bring her in. Public protector, thank you for joining us. And tell us quickly, you were saying that unexpected, unprecedented. Briefly, if you can explain to us what you mean by that.
It is the court action that was taken by the ministers in the security cluster that I said was unexpected and unprecedented, simply because it had never been done before, but also I also had frustrations during the investigation process, and whenever I had those frustrations, I would call the ministers and request a meeting, and no matter how long it took, we would have that meeting and resolve these matters.
And the relations now moving forward, how are you envisaging that rather?
I think because of some of the things that we said in court, there may be a bit of hard feelings, certainly not on my side, because as a lawyer I am trained to understand that language is language and you don't take things personally. But I've made it my mission, though, to reach out to the ministers to restore the relationship and trust more than anything else, because we need each other not only for this investigation, but for other investigations that will make sure that when Gogo Dlamini is hurt by the state, she gets recourse and sour relations do not stand in the way of justice.
Public Protector, just one more thing. What happens now? You've received the 28-page document. What happens now? Just the process, briefly, please.
I have decided to depoliticize the process going forward. My team and I are now busy already integrating the responses of the ministers, or at this stage we're assessing them, not really integrating anything. And then once we have decided what needs to be changed, if anything needs to be changed, we will do so. Should there be anything that we don't want to change and we're not convinced by the arguments that have been made by the ministers, we will then take the process back and request the ministers to second some experts who were involved on their side of this investigation to come over to my office and talk to us about those matters where we're not convinced that we need to exclude those things or to mask them. And if that process goes well, then we'll take the report, conclude it, and then it will be submitted to parties that are either respondents, complainants, or affected because maybe I'm making adverse findings against them. They'll be given a 10 working day period to talk to me about any concerns they may have about my findings or remedial action. After that, we'll integrate whatever we deem appropriate to be integrated, and that would take another 10 working days or so, and thereafter the report will be ready for a proper release and submission to appropriate authorities that need to act.
Public Protector, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have time constraints. We'd love to talk to you more about this. We appreciate it. Public Protector Thuli Madonsela. And now we're going to speak to Mthunzi Mhanga, who is a security cluster spokesperson who fortunately joins us to respond to these issues. My apologies, Public Protector. Mthunzi, please do come in and join us. Your response, you just heard the Public Protector about these matters.
The reaffirmation of a continued constructive engagement on the report moving forward by the Public Protector is quite encouraging, given the fact that we've always maintained that our stance was all in good faith, and now moving forward we will constructively engage with her office with the hope that we'll find each other.
A lot of throwing of stones, considering what we have read in your affidavits. How then do you mend your ways moving forward?
The reaffirmation by her office that moving forward we'll have a fruitful engagement is an encouraging stance, given the fact that running up to the court action, there had been fruitful engagements, and we've always respected that office and support her mandate as enshrined in the Constitution. So it is our obligation to do so. It is our expectation. It is encouraging that moving forward now, all that we had requested seems to be a matter that is part of those fruitful engagements moving forward.
And just one last thing. Last Friday, you did say you have an intention of going to court if needs be, based on whatever she would consider in terms of the report that you would have submitted with the security list issues that you're concerned about. Should you have further concerns, would you go back to court?
I think we need not enter into a speculative crusade at this stage. Let's channel our energies towards ensuring that we cooperate well with her. We have those fruitful engagements on the report as she reaffirmed her commitment to ensuring that we work well together.
Mhanga, thank you very much for joining us. Mhanga, security cluster spokesperson, chatting to us about what transpired in this hotel this morning. Back to the studio.
Yolisa, thank you very much. That was our reporter, Yolisa Njamela, coming to us live from Pretoria.